debates and controversies that characterized previous elections in Ghana, the Institute for Democratic Governance, IDEC, has advised the Electoral Commission to consider a structured training system for all polling station agents assigned by political parties during elections before the 2012 elections, that issues that arise, and also what the court recommended going into the 2016 general elections.
Executive Director of IDEC, Dr. Emmanuel Akwete, stressed that civil society groups, journalists, and election volunteers should also be trained to help avoid a system where untrained or unqualified people were involved in the organization of elections, while asking political parties to build consensus among themselves with some guidelines on the mandate of their polling station agents to bring about harmony. Dr. Akwete also wanted the Electoral Commission to motivate and provide resources for volunteers it engaged to give up their best, referring to a comment made by Justice William Matuguba during the 2012 presidential election petition hearing at the Supreme Court that elections are won at polling stations. Dr. Akwete observed this is a wake-up call to all political parties to train their polling station agents on their mandate, their roles and boundaries in an election. According to him, some polling station agents used by the political parties did not even know their roles and limits. As a result, actions and inactions of such agents had often brought about confusion at polling stations among electoral officers, political parties, and security officers. The executive director observed that Ghanaians were losing the needed trust for state institutions mandated to do their work, and this level of mistrust had often been visited on the Electoral Commission that led to tension and violation of electoral processes in previous elections.
Away from that, where the power crisis in the country has thrown many sectors in the country into a state of disrepute, and also frequent power cuts have caused cost of production to soar countrywide, and the price businesses are paying to stay open is more than most can bear. Now, the effects on education and security is also quite outstanding. 32 News spoke to Timothy Andor, who is the hallmaster of Mensa Sabah Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, to find out how the doomsday is affecting students as they prepare for the end of semester examinations.
Frequent power outage in the country, also known as Dumso, has become the source of major concern to business owners, patrons, and the general public. With the increase of utility tariffs, stakeholders are calling for quality services from utility providers, especially the electricity and water companies. The Dumso power outages have affected all sectors of the economy, including the educational sector, putting the safety of students at risk and hindering their study schedules. Students of the University of Ghana have started their end of semester examinations, and the erratic power supply is taking a toll on their efforts at preparing for the exams. First Digital News spoke to Mr. Timothy Andor, Hallmaster of Mensa Sabah Hall, University of Ghana, to find out how the Dumso crisis has changed the learning schedules of his students.
We are lucky that this week they have spared us, but I'm sure by now in my department the lights are off, because this morning they were off. In the halls we have standby, cell charged, lights that are in the porters' lodges. So at least the porters are able to monitor who comes in and who comes out. But we have very serious breaches with security. The doomsday is actually affecting not only security but also the learning environment. Students are not able to study at night when the lights go off, and in the day, during the day, when the lights go off, students are also not able to access information on the internet, and it's not good for education and students learning in the universities.
Well, the situation is not only in the University of Ghana, Legon, and we also went to the St. John's Grammar Senior High School. From the universities through to the senior high schools, they are also feeling the impact of the doomsday on them. as they also prepare for their end-of-term examinations. And the headmaster of the school has been complaining about the fast-running nature of the prepaid meter in the school, which gets finished within a short period when they buy the credits.
There is no end in sight yet for the erratic power supply currently being experienced by Ghanaians. Whereas the ECG start fights for the reinstatement of the sacked manager, Ghanaians are suffering in the uncompromising darkness. A visit to the St. John's Grammar School revealed how the Dumsor is throwing teaching and learning activities out of gear. In view of this, the students have had to manage with rechargeable lamps, lanterns, and in some cases candles. In some schools in Accra, JHS and SHS students have lamented about the frequent power cuts. They say the power cut is making it very difficult for them to have their prep in the evening or science practicals during the day. In an exclusive interview with First Digital News, the headmaster of the school, Mr. Emmanuel Ofo Fiamahule, said when the lights goes off, the school runs on a small generator set, which is very costly. He also complained of the manner in which the credits bought on the prepaid meter runs out within a
It's different from what the other schools are going through. For us, most of the times, we go off in the evenings, and that affects the prep hours for our students. We are not fortunate to have a generating plant, so we rely solely on the ECG to give our students and the community, that's the school compound, light. So when you go off in the evening, it's hell. You know, this is a mixed school, and boys and girls in darkness. You can imagine what goes on. So it's not the best of situations, but we are managing.
But basically, somebody will say, do you guys use prepaid meters or credit meters?
Prepaid, and we've had some challenges with the ECG area manager here, Fatimata. We put in a request for prepaid meters for almost all the blocks and apartments, but he has supplied half of the school compound with prepaid meters, and the remaining half is on one bulk prepaid meter, and managing it hasn't been that easy. And as a school, we are unable to buy credit to give our students 24 hours electricity, even when we are not off. So it hasn't been that easy for us.
Mr. Emmanuel Ofo Fiamahule appealed to the Minister of Education and other well-meaning Ghanaians to come to the aid of the school.
It's been a running battle, but we are still talking to the manager, and he has given us all the assurance that he will come in to take care of the remaining part of the compound that is on one bulk prepaid meter. But for the other areas that have their prepaid meters, like the classrooms and dormitory blocks, we have studied the trend of consumption, and we have allocated some amount of credit to the blocks. So maybe if a particular block per their consumption requires about 100 Ghana cedis worth of credit per week we buy, and we always talk to them to manage it in such a way that they don't go off before the week ends. Our last speech and prize giving day, it was the 60th anniversary this year. I mean, we hammered on it, and it became an issue, and even the PURC came to our aid. That's how come we had part of the compound supplied with prepaid meters. So the government and our superiors in GS are very much aware of the situation we find ourselves in.
Well, the Ministry of Interior has declared Friday, December 5, a statutory public holiday. Now, the holiday has been declared to celebrate the 2014 National Farmers Day. This was contained in a statement signed by the Deputy Interior Minister, James Agaga, on behalf of the Substantive Minister, Mark Boyongo.
The Ministry has therefore urged the general public to observe the day as such. The 30th National Farmers Day celebration will be under the theme, Eat What You Grow. The National Farmers Day celebration was established by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture to honor the nation's hard-working farmers. On the first Friday of every December, farmers who excel in their respective fields are awarded with certificate and other prizes. In 2013, 58-year-old Alhaji Awudi Karim from the Katsina Nankana district of the Upper East region was adjudged the national best farmer.
You're still watching the news on First TV on your First to television, and it's live from our studios in Accra. Right after this quick break, when we come back, we're going to cross over into Parliament to find out the latest from the Legislative House. To sleep.
Looking for a venue for your wedding reception, conferences and retreats, outside catering, recreation? Look no further than Coconut Grove Beach Resort Hotel, located in Elmina. Coconut Grove Hotels, memories worth repeating.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome home. You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome.
Coconut Grove Hotels, memories worth repeating.
Come with me on this happy trip back to.
Do you know that there are more successful people in Ghana today than before? Well, that is the truth, and the secret is in prudent financial planning with the right financial manager. You need to know the right fund manager who spends your money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks in a month, and 12 months in a year. That manager is at Gold Coast Fund Management. At Gold Coast, your money never sleeps. It revolves every second to give you more money for use when you really need it. For the past 21 years, Gold Coast Fund Management has held a strong reputation of spending people's money to beat inflation, depreciation, and treasury bill rates. Put your money to work. Move from savings to investment. Pay your investment tithe into the Gold Fund and Gold Money Market Fund, and be assured that when you are in need, you can turn to them to resolve your financial problems. Gold Coast Fund Management. Investment advice worth its weight in gold.
Welcome back to the News on First TV. Let's now go straight into Parliament, where our correspondent Leslie McCarthy is joining us on the telephone. Zogati, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your time. Now, tell us exactly what's happening in Parliament as we speak.
Well, as you have known, the debate on the government has been ongoing about a week now. And now I find myself in the office of the chairman of the Public Account Committee, who was earlier in the chamber to make his contribution, his debate on. And he raised some serious issues that the government seems to have lost track on its development agenda. He was trying to find out how government has used the Eurobond and many other issues. And to him, the more he reads the budget, he gets confused because he doesn't see any pillar on which they are going to meet that transformation agenda. I have you know, has now lost track and its development. So the budget they presented to us gives that evidence. It looks like they themselves are even more confused than I am. There are several conflicting areas, and the things that are put in the budget doesn't demonstrate any evidence of any investment that will conform the economic medium state we are talking about. And section 4, for example, a number of conflicting paragraphs that are so actually for the purposes that they want to involve. Well, the economy and the factors in the mean strengthening element of government and investment in agriculture, you feel like you become for them to things like that. You know, and some other area, anchoring industrial development to pledges of natural resources based on locally social value addition. In 3 years, to 2017, how will this happen? So, if you look to the budget, there is no program or activity for increased activity on investment in internationalization. Neither we have any single investment into even indicating that we are going to, grow and produce some base for raw materials, either cotton or coffee or anything that we see in factories if you are able to find money to buy these industries. So I think that when there is then that will suggest to me that these things are going to be done and therefore it will bring the anticipated transformation that we need. The side of it is that you see, prior to Ghana exporting oil, we had the growth rate up to 8.4%. I'm quoting from 2008 end of year growth figures. This time around, we are sliding down, including our oil. We are growing 4.7% this year projected. And next year, the beginning of the year for the medium-term transformation, our economy has been limited to slow down growth to close to 3.9 or 3.7%. Then you tell me you are transforming an economy. But it's the evidence, right? So that alone is not adequate for us to see the transformation.
Right.
I'm talking about the confusion, right? If you read some portions of the budget, right, they are talking about, government would, put a strict embargo on loans. Meanwhile, several other paragraphs in the budget is talking about what instruments they will use to go borrow, what strategies they're going to use to go borrow, like that. So which one do we take?
Okay.
If I was sitting in your studio, I would have opened certain paragraphs that will give an indication of the confusion, the basis of the confusion that I'm talking about. So these conflicting paragraphs on the type of not communicating adequately and certain things being hidden, like the Eurobond thing that they went to take. After now, they are telling us that they are using it to finance infrastructure. They should tell us which specific projects they are financing this place. They don't want to explain about it. So where is the money? Why wouldn't we get confused? These are some of the issues that are my basis for the confusion, and that doesn't give me confidence that we are going to see the transformation after the video. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable. Yes, Leslie, that was a very detailed analysis of, from his perspective of what the situation is. I'm grateful for this, and I'm sure that we're going to get some more detail from you in our later bulletins. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Great. Thank you. Leslie McCarthy is our parliamentary correspondent there, speaking to a member of parliament who also is very much into issues relating to financing, renewable Kwame India there doing that analysis. We're going to go for our pension tips for this afternoon.
A common problem in pension planning is to not take enough risk when there may be a 20, 30 or 40 years time frame before taking benefits. However, over the long term, investing, while undoubtedly more risky than holding your money in cash, provides the best opportunity to grow your pension fund over and above the rate of inflation. In fact, holding your money in cash or low-risk investments can be riskier than investing in racier markets.
Pension Tips is brought to you by PenTrust. Call them for all your Tier 2 and 3 pension plans on 0302 901 500 or 0501 291 030. PenTrust, discipline.
Let's now go for our natural resources, environment and governance updates.
The price of oil has fallen to a 5-year low after slowing manufacturing in China spooked investors already reeling from OPEC's decision not to cut production at a crucial meeting last week. Brent crude fell more than $2 to below $68 a barrel, continuing a run of 5 straight months of falling prices and dragging it down to a level not seen since the financial crisis. Meanwhile, U.S. crude fell more than $1 to $64.70 a barrel. Oil prices have collapsed from a peak of $115 in June due to a glut in production sparked by slowing economic growth in China and the U.S. shale boom. Saudi Arabia blocked moves to cut production at a stormy meeting of the cartel in Vienna last week as it dug in against ceding further market share to the Americans. Oil has lost 12% of its price since that meeting and has been hit further by figures out today showing a slowdown in China's manufacturing sector, a major importer of oil. The Purchasing Managers Index in the world's second biggest economy eased to an 8-month low of 50.3 in November from 50.8 in October. China's National Bureau of Statistics announced below forecasts of 50.6 and marginally above the 50 mark, which separates growth from contraction. A separate index compiled by HSBC came in at 50, underlying the concerns. Techiman Processing Complex, TEPCO, an agro-processing company at Techiman in the Bunuahafo region that was primarily established for tomato processing after years of delay, has finally started production. The new development was partly cushioned by 200,000 cedis financial support from the Export Development and Agricultural Investment Fund (EDAF) to the company. The management of the company is also seeking domestic and foreign investor partnerships to facilitate full operation of the plant. Willa Palu Ofori, Chief Executive Officer of TEPCO, has said the processing plant is a corporation product of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture and the Italian government. The facility, which is among other things aimed at increasing tomato, mango and watermelon processing in order to reduce importation of processed products, was officially inaugurated in December 2012. In 2013, the government of Ghana entered into an agreement with a private developer and the Republic Private Partnership. The plant, with a daily production capacity of 40 tons, has since not been fully operational, largely because of raw materials non-availability.
Let's now go for some business news. So in business this afternoon, industries in Ghana are dreading the impact of load shedding on their business as the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, extends the power rationing exercise to industries, though most industries have cited their mind for the unfavorable exercise after receiving prior notice of the load management failure by the power distributor to follow a planned exercise could throw businesses out of gear. Chief Executive Officer of the Association of Ghana Industries, Seth Chum Akwabwa, has stated.
State-owned distributor Electricity Company of Ghana (ECG) on Monday started cutting supply to industrial areas. Mr. Chum Akwabwa said with the decision to cut down supply of energy to industries, it will definitely have an effect, but the question is, do we have a choice? He said the AGI has always made the point that industry should be given priority. The previous arrangement we had with ECG was that the industrial enclaves were being exempted from the power rationing, and that has been going on. But now it appears they are still having challenges with supply, so they have to cut down the volume of power they give to the industries, so they don't seem to have any choice. Ghana is currently experiencing a power deficit as a result of the shutdown of some units at the hydro and thermal stations across the country. The VRA has warned that the situation could get worse before it gets better.
Now, the number of mobile telephony service subscribers is on the verge of reaching 30 million. Data released by the sector regulator National Communications Authority (NCA) has shown Ghana's population, according to the World Bank, is estimated to be about 25.9 million. Now, and the record subscriber number will mean that the mobile subscription penetration will reach 115.83% of the population.
The September data indicate that Vodafone made the biggest gains, racking up more than 181,000 new subscribers and about 2.7% jump over the previous month's data. Glo Mobile also recorded an over 70,000 increase in subscriber numbers, making it a third successive month of achieving growth. Airtel also increased its subscribership by 34,000, whereas the biggest mobile telecommunication network provider, MTN, saw a marginal increase of just 4,700 in the month under review. Troubled mobile telephony service company Espresso lost more than 3,700 subscribers, while Millicom Ghana, operator of Tigo, lost a little over 3,000 subscribers in the month of September. Despite its relatively minimal performance last month, MTN controls a huge chunk of the market share with 8.45% stake. Its closest contender, Vodafone, with about 6.8 million subscribers, accounts for 23% of the market share. Tigo, with 14% of the market share, is marginally ahead of Airtel, which, despite its decent performance in the month under review, controls 13%.
Akoziamwa is ready to give you all the news in the world of sports.
Welcome to the sports segment of the news from the studios of Sports 24 with me, Akoziamwa. On to my first story this afternoon, Black Stars assistant coach Maxwell Knedu, who landed in Equatorial Guinea on Sunday as part of the Ghanaian delegation to attend the 2015 African Cup of Nations final draw, which will be held on Malabo on Wednesday night. In an interview disclosed to Sports 24 ahead of the AFCON draw, that the team is ready for whatever group they are drawn in, but looking forward to whatever challenges the draw throws up and tackle it with the spirit that Ghanaians have always been renowned for.
I think it's very important for me to be here once we don't have the head coach around now. I think it's good I'm here. I will put up a very comprehensive report for him and outline so many important and key areas that we need to think about in terms of whether speed of the wind and the climate itself. We need to consider all these things, and also to see our hotel, our training pitches and everything, so that we'll put up a report for the incoming coach to come and also have a look and plan ahead of what is waiting us. Yeah, we will not want to believe that everything will be perfect as a country that has prepared for 2 years or more. Whatever Equatorial Guinea has to offer Africa, I think we have to, give them the benefit of the doubt, because they accepted this challenge very late, and we think that everything cannot be as we want, or as we know how the competition is being staged. They will do their best, but I only have to let Ghanaians know that we will not expect everything to be smooth as the other countries who really prepared for the tournament. We know 1 or 2 things may go wrong, but we have to accept it and know that they accepted this challenge late, and we think that it's good for Africa.
Well, to some other stories, Yassine Brahimi has been voted the BBC African Footballer of the Year 2014. The 24-year-old midfielder becomes the first Algerian to win the award, which is decided by football fans. Porto winger Brahimi told BBC Sports, "It's a big honor for me to receive this wonderful trophy. I owe it to my country, Algeria, and to all the people who voted for me. It's also a trophy for the whole of Africa, because it rewards an African player. So I am really very happy." After a record number of votes were submitted from fans in the 207 FIFA-registered countries, Brahimi came out on top ahead of Nigeria's Vicente Nyama, Gabonese Emirat Aubameyang, and Ivorian pair Gervinho and Yaya Toure. He is thrilled to have been acclaimed as the best player on the continent for the past year. "This trophy is going to give me more strength, more desire to work, to get better, to learn so that I can keep having great performances," at Brahimi, who was congratulated in a tweet by last year's winner Toure. During 2014, Brahimi has shone for club and country. So on behalf of the Sports 24 crew, talking of my boss till the last person, we say a very congratulations to Yassine Brahimi, wherever he finds himself. Well, that's it for sports this afternoon from the studios of Sports 24 with me, Akosiamwa. We now go back into the studios of First TV as Grace Asari brings you the entertainment news. Please do stay.
And good afternoon, welcome to the entertainment segment of the news. My name is Grace Asari, and on to our first story this afternoon. The Accra Sports Stadium was the venue for this year's BATE Awards, and there were moments of brilliance. The crowd kept booing Black Rasta for reasons known to the patrons alone, but he was man enough to join their noise by picking up Best Album of the Year and Best Collaboration Awards.
Seligali of Big Brother Africa fame lost their cool for the show late start and took to Twitter to fire. Okay, 12:23 a.m. and still not a single award. More of a show than awards night, I must say. Base Awards, Rashid Metal, Rude Boy ranking and episode were sensational. aka Songstress requested for a bully to perform and she got exactly what she bargained for. Raskuku won 4 awards while Shatawale won 3.
So congratulations to those artists who shone during this year's Bait Awards at the Accra Sports Stadium on Saturday. And moving on, legendary Ghanaian rapper Michael Elliott Kwabena Otrejakun, commonly known as Obrafour, has said in an exclusive interview with Star Entertainment he is getting ready to release a new hit track featuring talented and controversial dancehall artist Shatta The Wale.
Obrafour, a rapper revered by many young artists on the Ghanaian music scene, has already collaborated with the likes of Sarkodie and Manifest since he returned from his musical hiatus. Inspired by his quest to guide the younger generation of musicians to compose and perform songs that impact positively on society, the executioner, as his name translates, said he has a lot more collaborations lined up on his Obrafour 4 album set to be launched in March 2015. There is a song with Shatta Wale. There is a song coming up with Ithia, which will be dropped before the official album launch. He stated Obrafour rose fast on the Ghanaian music scene when he came out with his first album, Paimuka, in 1999. The album won him Rapper of the Year, New Artist of the Year, and Best Hip Life Song of the Year at the 2000 Ghana Music Awards ceremony. A secondary level school dropout, his creativity, ingenuity, and deep lyrical content made him the most respected and loved rapper in his time. His work earned him the title of Ghana Rap Sophomore, and it is expected that his Obrafour 4 album will sell beyond the shores of the nation.
And away from music into the Big Brother House Africa, Sheila, Trezaga, Ella and Goetzi fell just 1 week short of a shot at the $300,000 prize on Big Brother Hot Shots as they were sent home in a heart-stopping quadruple eviction on Sunday night. Their departure means that 8 housemates are left in the game and one of them must be named winner come next Sunday.
Ghana's Mambi is the second housemate to make it to the finals, and viewers must now choose between her and Butterfly from Zimbabwe, Idris Tanzania, JJ Zimbabwe, Makitu Zambia, Nanla South Africa, Sipe Malawi, and Tayo Nigeria, and get voting. Next week's 2-hour live show will start an hour earlier at 19 o'clock Central African Time to pack all the drama of the season 9 into one sizzling episode. Makitu revealed his head of house art decision to the housemates, with Ella declaring, "I knew it," as he had explained that he had based his decision on who he felt was a strong competitor. The Ugandan was spared in the first round of evictions, at least, as IK revealed that Sheila and Trezaga had been evicted. Joining him on stage, the Motswana said she had known something was up when she wasn't nervous for the first time this week. She declared that her thing with Nanla was very complicated and that it wasn't a relationship. Trezaga said he felt so bad at falling so close to the final and explained that he had moved during the freeze task, the only reason he was up for eviction in the first place, because he thought the task was over and that he was being pranked again. IK went back into the house and revealed that someone else was going to be evicted. He read out 2 more names, Ella and Goetzi, taking the number of evictees to 4.
So we wish Mambi, our only surviving contestant, the best, and we pray that come Sunday she is going to be crowned the winner of this year's edition of Big Brother Africa. And that's all we have for entertainment this afternoon. My name is Grace Hamwa Asari. Albert is back with more news after this quick break. Please stay.
Looking for a venue for your wedding reception, conferences and retreats, outside catering, recreation? Look no further than Coconut Grove Beach Resort Hotel, located in Elmina. Coconut Grove Hotels, memories worth repeating.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome home. You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome.
Coconut Grove Hotels, memories worth repeating.
Do you know that there are more successful people in Ghana today than before? Well, that is the truth, and the secret is in prudent financial planning with the right financial manager. You need to know the right fund manager who spends your money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks in a month, and 12 months in a year. That manager is at Gold Coast Fund Management. At Gold Coast, your money never sleeps. It revolves every second to give you more money for use when you really need it. For the past 21 years, Gold Coast Fund Management has held a strong reputation of spending people's money to beat inflation, depreciation, and treasury bill rates. Put your money to work. Move from savings to investment. Pay your investment tithe into the Gold Fund and Gold Money Market Fund, and be assured that when you are in need, you can turn to them to resolve your financial problems. Gold Coast Fund Management. Investment advice worth its weight in gold.
You're welcome back to the News on First TV. Let's now go for some international news. Somali militants have killed 36 non-Muslim quarry workers near the North Kenyan town of Mandera. The attackers from the Al-Shabaab group shot the non-Muslims dead after separating them from Muslims, residents said. There's a growing concern in Kenya about security in regions bordering Somalia after a spate of attacks. President Uhuru Kenyatta, who summoned top security officials, is to address the national TV later today. We'll get you details of what exactly is going to be saying to this particular massacre in Kenya. But away from that, Lebanese security forces have detained their wife and son of Islamic State IS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi near the border with Syria. The army says the pair, whose names were not given, were picked up by the military intelligence after entering Lebanon 10 days ago. Well, so that's it for news this afternoon. It came to you live from our studios here in Accra. But before we go, let's take a recap of some of the stories that made headlines this afternoon. As in the headlines this afternoon, as we rightly brought to you, that the Eastern region students. Our leaders must be honest. The leader as we brought you details of that as well. And Some more stories this afternoon where the World Bank president arrives in Ghana today. And on the international front, Al-Shabaab once against non-Muslims of the Kenya Quarry. Thank you for spending time with us. On behalf of the rest of the team, we thank you for watching. Join us again at 6 p.m. as we bring you some more updated news. My name is Alfred Akansa. Remember to log on to the news website www.firstdigitalghana.com for some more news. Have a good afternoon.
Like us on Facebook at First Digital TV.
It's Tim Westwood TV. I'm at the Rick Ross concert. I'm going in, baby.
This song has been shut down into the power in the mix. The Blow Money Fast World Tour, Tim TV.
This is Nane Foa. She's thinking about how to cover her university education in the future. Mr. Sari is so confused about how to list his company on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Atta is an organizer and is wondering how to expand his business someday.
Do you want to buy shares on the Ghana Stock Exchange? Or probably sell your shares? Are you interested in investing in treasury bills? Have you been thinking about listing your company on the Ghana Stock Exchange? Talk to GN Investment today. You can reach GN Investment on 030-9788-3819.
Efwa's parents learned from GN Investment how they can invest money to pay for her university tuition. GN Investment helps Mr. Sari with market research, company valuation, and how to list his company on the Ghana Stock Exchange. GN Investments visits Atta and advises him on how to grow his small business.
At GN Investment, we proudly say that we invest with discipline.
You can now pay your 20 Ghana Cedis First Digital subscription at your nearest GN Bank. Just walk in with your UN number, which you can find by pressing CAS on your remote. Please pay now to avoid disconnection. Call 0243 002222 for more information. First Digital, for the Ghanaian in you.